hot about what's happening here at Salon Prive. We have the beautiful supercars manufacturer parade going on. We have all the cars lined up right there somewhere behind me. Anyways, my name is Hercules and you guys are Prive Media Reviews. Let's get this supercar manufacturers parade begin.
Because we have that porosity that you're not configuring for prop shafts, exhaust pipes, large fuel tanks, lots of cooling if you wanted to be up at 2,000 horsepower. So then because of the amount of space that's been created, we've got air going under, through and over the car, which means we can configure a car with fantastic aerodynamics without having lots of leery spoilers and the like.
And at the front end, we have motor, brain, gearbox.
Yes, correct.
On all four corners.
In the centre of each axle, with the weighter mounted amidships for better handling. So it starts in the middle, with each wheel has its brain. Then there's a motor, Helix motors from the UK, and then Extract gearboxes, again UK, and really cool gearboxes. They're only about 20 millimeters deep and the size of a dinner plate, and then it goes out to the wheel. So each wheel has its own brain, motor, and gearbox.
Central, mid-mounted battery behind you.
Yes, so we mount the battery as one large cassette sitting behind me, just as you would have a mid-engine sports car. This increases agility, but also serviceability. We can just drop the battery out the bottom, service it, and plug it back in.
What's it like to drive?
It is fantastic, and I was really lucky to be on your fantastic Cotswold tour, day before yesterday, and the car mooching around the wonderful Cotswold villages. She was relaxed, and then when I was allowed to, legally of course, I was allowed to give it a bit of a squirt, and then there was the great handling, that fantastic downforce and grip, and of course, just eye-watering performance.
Perfect, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Does 217 miles an hour.
That is distributing the Microlino. Paul is also one of the official retailers for Morgan, and is here today with Morgan. This is the most exclusive Morgan that was ever built, actually. Only 38 made. This is number 31 off 38. BMW 4.8 V8 power, beautifully made, hand-built at the Morgan factory, as all Morgans are. I made the mistake yesterday of standing near the side exhaust, and nearly got third-degree burns. Paul, tell us a little bit, because you've owned this car, haven't you?
Yes, I've owned this car, I've sold this car, I've owned this car, I've sold this car. There's a pattern here.
You buying it back, are you?
Well, no, I currently own it, but if anyone's interested.
I mean, this is, as I say, this is the only one I think in the market. This is number 31 of 38, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this is what Morgan do very well. I mean, Morgan, everyone knows them for +4s, +6s, which again are pretty exclusive cars, coach-built cars, but every so often Morgan build a small run, just like the Midsummer at the moment, which is all sold out, of special cars. And these Aero coupes, they only built 38 of them.
And very light, obviously, very light, very powerful, so exhilarating to drive, I'm sure.
Yeah, very light. I mean, aluminium bonded chassis, aluminium panels, a small amount of ash coach building, but a car that basically weighs a little more than a tonne with that big V8 BMW on it.
Lovely. And what else is on the stand with Morgan at the moment?
So we have the new +4, +6, all BMW based as well, and one of the special edition Bluebird Super 3s.
And also then on Crazy Horse, what have you got there? Tell everyone about
Well,
Crazy Horse.
a little car that just went past.
Exactly.
A big chap in it.
Yeah. There's some big bikes.
We've got CCM, we've got Norton, we've got Indian and Custom Indian, and we've got MV Augusta.
And a lot of fantastic Crazy Horse apparel as always.
Crazy Horse stuff.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot, Paul.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers. Stood back that time. The sales brochure to this car says that it will take one driver, one passenger, and a crate of beer on the back seat. I joke you not. This is the Microlino, based on a very old design, the BMW Isetta of the 60s. It is an electric car. It's the perfect urban car. You can plug this in at home, and it will give you 140 miles of range in literally 4 hours. Crazy Horse are the UK presenter, the UK retailer for the event. Crazy Horse over in one of the marquees with their motorcycles, and they've since taken this on, and I don't think they can make them fast enough, can they, at the moment?
Yeah, it's gone very well. It's been received by the public with a big smile on the face. But you know, it's a brand that's been around for a while, because if you were a parent in the mid-90s or a child in the mid-90s, you were probably skipping around the cities on a micro scooter. And that's the company that's behind this vehicle. So the first attack on urban mobility was the micro scooter, and they've decided to take some inspiration from the bubble car from the 50s and the 60s, and the Microlino is born. So that's an electric car, as you said. This is a well-spec'd out vehicle in Amsterdam orange. It's got the premium interior with Alcantara and vegan leather. This has got the mid-range battery on it, so it's going to do about 100 miles. You can plug it in to the same plug socket as you do your iPhone, and after 4 hours of charging, you've got 100 miles to play with. And as you quite rightly said, there's plenty of room in the back for a few crates of beer.
Exactly. Thanks ever so much. The Microlino. Next up, this is one of those cars, the DMC, the DeLorean. Would you believe, obviously we don't, but some of us will remember the story about the DeLorean business going into liquidation, as they did all those years ago, but they produced a fantastic car. They actually made 9,000 of these, of which, would you believe, 3/4 are still in existence and on the road, courtesy of the fact that it was made in stainless steel, so it doesn't rot. The original car had a 2.7 litre V6 Peugeot engine, just over 2.7, which gave about 130 brake horsepower. So it wasn't slow necessarily, but it didn't have speed and performance to match its looks, which is exactly what Electrogenic have done now. They've electrified the DeLorean here to give it over 200 brake horsepower and the performance that I think this car really needs. Steve, Managing Director of Electrogenic, how do you do? Tell us all about it.
So, this is perhaps my favourite conversion to date. I know I always say this, but we've, as you say, given it a lot more power, a lot more torque. So the original 0 to 60 was about 10.5 seconds. We're now just a little under 5, so 4.8, 4.9. What that does is it brings out the beauty of the original Lotus designed suspension. So it drives like a dream. It's very smooth, it's very quick, it's very immediate. The car is the same weight as the original car, so it handles beautifully, and it's a lovely thing.
I don't think I've ever seen car seats that are more reclined as well than this.
But they're quite comfy. It's a nice comfy sofa, and you're just lying back and enjoying the view.
It does look like it, doesn't it? So with Electrogenic, tell us all about Electrogenic.
So Electrogenic, what we do is we design and manufacture EV powertrains. We do it for the military, we do it for small car manufacturers, and what we're very well known for, of course, is we design manufactured powertrains for classic vehicles. We do a small number of bespoke vehicles every year. This is one example. But the main thing we do is we manufacture powertrains which bolts directly into specific vehicles, so nothing drilled, nothing cut. So for example, for Land Rovers and E-Types, which we have examples over there, we have an international dealer network. You can approach us or one of our dealers anywhere in the world, and we can send them the full EV drivetrain. They bolt it in, and then your car is running electric.
Because of the way that you engineer them, they're fully reversible, aren't they?
Absolutely fully reversible. Yes, nothing drilled, nothing cut. It just bolts in. You wire up the dashboard and drive away.
You always bring something special to Salon Prive. You had a very special one last year, didn't you?
Yes, we did. Last year we had, although it wasn't public who owned it at the time, we converted a sort of ultimate bespoke, perhaps, but it's a 1929 Rolls-Royce Phantom 2 for Jason Momoa. We made it very beautiful under the bonnet, a homage to the 1920s Art Deco styling, with a polished aluminium cowling, 106 hand riveted rivets, etc., etc. So yeah, that was beautiful. And this is perhaps, that was grand and stately, and this is a lovely sports car, so perhaps the other end of the spectrum.
Absolutely. Listen, thanks ever so much, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you. The Brabus GLS 800. Now, Brabus, as those of you will know, is one of the oldest established luxury tuning brands in Germany. Started in 1977 by a chap called Bodo Buschmann. Now carried over by his son Konstantin. The numbers on the Brabus, I think you need to pull forward a little bit. I'm being waved by Gina. Okay, Gina? There you go. The numbers on the Brabus models denote the power these cars have. So this is the GLS, the bi-turbo 800. Tell us a little bit about this. I assume it's the 4-litre V8 twin turbo.
It is indeed, yeah. So it's based on the 4-litre twin turbo. Again, we've done the hybrid turbos on this vehicle. It's become basically an ultimate family SUV. Get your kids in here and still just not 60 under 4 seconds. So it's a pretty rapid thing. 1,000 newton meters of torque again. So yeah, it's a beast.
I'd love to be the kid that gets whisked to school in one of these.
I know, yeah.
It's a bit nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely. I mean, it's we kept it quite sleek as well. So from the outside, it's not too much. Obviously, we've got the G-Wagon to obviously do the talking for that. But this is just a nice balance in between of everything, I think.
Yeah, and also, I mean, Brabus kind of started the business. I mean, Bodo Buschmann, he raced Mercedes, didn't he? So he used to tune Mercedes for race, and that sort of passion became a business, and here we are now. But it's not only Mercedes you work on, is it? There's Range Rovers as well, and...
Yeah, so it's the Range Rovers, we do the Porsches as well, so the Turbo S, again, that's something we've got on our stand. We do, obviously, Rolls Royce as well, you might have seen the Ghost. So yeah, they are slowly branching out to other brands as well, which is lovely to see. It just gives you that opportunity. If you've got a different vehicle, it's something we might be able to work on as well. Not just power-wise, but obviously all the interiors that you've seen as well. And like you've seen before, it's just everything we've got with us is on the stand. We've got 6 cars. Come and have a look, see if you like anything.
I mean, Brabus Top Cars, you are based up in Sheffield.
Yeah.
Rather than just being a retailer of the brand, there is the technicians are there that can actually complete the cars for you, can't you? So you don't have to sort of order through Germany and wait for it to come. They can be done here in the UK.
Yeah, that's right. So we've got that pleasure of actually doing the vehicles here. Everything is built here. So the time scales, rather than being like a year for a vehicle, they're more like a month to 2 months. So it's a really nice thing to offer to people rather than waiting a full year for your car.
The other thing I was going to say you've got on the stand that you showed yesterday, sort of launched yesterday, was the SL750, wasn't it?
Yes.
That's a beast.
Yeah, I mean, that's getting a lot of attention yesterday. Everybody that came over, I think, said that was the favourite car. So it's lovely to see, obviously. Like I said, we've got the first one in the UK as well, so it's really nice if anyone wants to come have a look. It's, you know, you've got to see it with your own eyes.
Yeah, you have. Brilliant. Thanks ever so much.
Thank you.
Cheers. Now from Aston Martin. So this is Clive Sutton. Clive Sutton are one of the oldest prestige supercar retailers in the UK. This is Luke Sutton, son of Clive. This is a series that they do with the GT, the Shelby GT500. Beautifully restored. This is the car similar to the Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds. Luke, again, I'm going to stand away from these side tailpipes because I made the mistake of that yesterday. Tell us all about the Shelby GT500.
Yeah, so this was fully restored by us about 10 years ago. Now, this vehicle was based on a 1967 Mustang, sandblasted down to its core shell. Engine-wise, it's got the 427 big block engine, so that's the equivalent of 7 litres. Runs at 625 brake horsepower with 525 pounds of torque. Now we build these consistently for customers, and there's a full choice of modern day powertrains, slightly smaller powertrains. Colour-wise, this is black with the beautiful candy apple red stripe going down the middle. Depending on what someone wants, we can really paint match pretty much any colour. And then crucially, as you come inside, this one you'll see is built in right-hand drive. We can build them in right-hand drive, left-hand drive. This specific vehicle actually has a 6-speed manual transmission. Again, we can build them in automatic, completely depending on how someone wants it set up.
I want one of these.
Yeah.
It actually, I love the fact that when you stand close to it, the engine, the whole thing, it shakes, doesn't it?
Yeah, we've gone sort of against the industry direction of the electrification, and this
Slightly.
is pure old school American muscle.
As is the Cobra you've got as well.
Yeah, so on the stand we've got a super special car. It's the first time in 60 years that Shelby have given an official license to a brand new Cobra. So you've got to come see that. It was built in 2024, so completely brand new car. And also on the stand we've got 2 of our vehicles from our luxury bespoke division. So we've got a London Taxi with a twist, and also a Mercedes Sprinter that is essentially like a private jet inside.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Luke.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. Leave me some carpet, please. Justin, bringing it up. This is completely re-engineered, 656 brake horsepower. This has 30% more power, 130 brake horsepower more than the outgoing Vantage. So a lot of manufacturers, when they're creating evolutions of models, will not take the leaps that Aston Martin have with this car. It really is absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Justin, tell us a little bit about the Vantage that we have here.
As you said, David, it's a massive leap forward for us. It is biblically quick. It is just, and the way it puts the power down as well. We've done a huge amount of development on the underpinnings of this car.
It's slightly wider, isn't it? About 30mm wider at the back than the old one?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's got quite an aggressive stance at the back, which is what most people will see probably.
It looks fantastic. 0 to 60 is low threes,
Low threes, yeah, all the way up to 200 miles an hour as well, but it's how it gets there. You've got 700 Newton meters of torque all the way through.
I mean, it is true supercar performance.
Absolutely. Yep. You've stepped up.
Yeah, it's
Massively
absolutely
stepped up.
And the complete new interior, the new infotainment system as well.
All the new bits inside. So we've got some over on the stand. Come and have a look. We've got a driver there if someone wants to go for a drive as well. One of our performance driving instructors with us today.
You've got the Vantage for a test drive.
Vantage, DB12 and DBX.
Brilliant. Well, if anybody wants to test drive before you start drinking champagne,
Preferably before you start drinking.
preferably before. So also on the stand, so Aston Martin Works have been a client of ours now for several years. They're here with Aston Martin, with the factory. Works are the historic side of the brand as well, looking after all the restorations of the old cars, aren't you? So you also have some very special cars there from Works as well, don't you?
So absolutely, we've got some Zagato product. We've got a lovely DB5 that we've done a full restoration on. I found that in a million pieces in Lancashire. Brought it back and it's had a full restoration with us. We've also got a V600. Very special car.
Well, listen, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
There are very, very few test drives left, I'm told, if you want one today, so please do, don't run after Justin just yet, but he's over on the back wall when I'm finished. Thanks, Justin. Now from Kingsley. Kingsley are a specialist brand with Range Rover, often with Range Rover Classics, but here with a new car that was launched yesterday. Jonathan, good to see you up on the stage here. This is your wonderful 90 Defender.
Yeah, super happy to be here. So we did the global launch of the Defender series yesterday for Kingsley. We're obviously very famous for the Range Rover Classics that we've been doing for a number of decades, but we've had so much customer demand and requests for Defenders. We finally put a Kingsley badge on one, and this is it.
And this has got, what, a 4.2 litre V8?
Yeah, 4.2 V8, completely uprated, modernised suspension with active damping. It's a full nut and bolt restoration, so it looks like a Defender, it won't drive like a Defender.
Perfect. It's beautifully made inside, all custom designed, isn't it? Finished.
Yeah, I think a really nice touch on this, which has gone down really well, is the woven leather we've done on the interior and for the bench seats. Also the wood veneer in the back. It's a completely customised and bespoke build program, so we can develop any car for any client.
With a bikini top, it's called, I'm told.
Well, you did promise me it was going to be sunny for the next couple of days, so we're going to put this on for the show. We'll probably swap it out for an actual soft top to make it a little bit more utilisable. But I think this car would look pretty good in Monaco, where it doesn't rain quite so much.
It is beautiful. It's a fabulous colour as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I picked the colour, so I'm glad you said that.
So not taking anything up focus away from this, the Range Rovers you have on the stand, I said to you yesterday, you know, those old classics I grew up with, they're real favourites of mine. Tell us a little bit about the classics you have there.
So we've done Range Rover Classics for decades, and I think it's what we're sort of globally famous for. Currently at the moment we've got a couple of cars going out to Malaysia, the US, California, so it's a very well recognised thing that we do. We're just in the middle of a huge development program on the Range Rover Classic, so there will be a significant prototype upgrade coming out very shortly, which I think will be the most impressive resto mod Range Rover Classic in the world. One other thing we're very proud of are the rally cars that we do. We're very keen to start a bespoke customised rally car program for a lot of customers, which I think will give us some really cool customer engagement as well. So yeah, we've got a combination of all things going on at the moment.
The one you've got on there did Alaska to
Mexico this year.
Without breaking down apparently at all.
There were two other Range Rover Classics on the rally, I think, which didn't make it. We've got so much experience with these things now, we know how to make them bulletproof, so our customer was very happy.
Brilliant. Listen, thanks a lot, Jonathan. Cheers.
Well, thank you so much.
Now, 17 mile an hour top speed and 0 to 60 in, as Justin was saying, 3.3 seconds. Now for Porsche, the new 992.2, launched earlier this year. And Porsche rejoining us, which is fantastic to see. A great brand, great pal of ours. Nice to see you here. This is the 911 Carrera, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, perfect. So this is the 992.2 Carrera. So this was just released in June, so brand new model, and we have GTS models that have just come out, more models to come later in the year. So this has got 394 brake horsepower, 0 to 60 in about 3.9 seconds, so 0.3 seconds quicker than the predecessor model, and it's got 450 newton meters of torque. So it's quite good, I would say.
Quite good. Nice.
Yeah, it's a brilliant car. It's in jet black metallic. So slightly new model improvements interior-wise. You've now got a digital instrument cluster. You have a start-stop button, and you have a drive mode switch, which now comes as standard. And then from the front, you'll notice that the lights, the indicators, are now integrated into the front lights. So slightly different air intakes in the front. And you'll notice on the back, the vertical slats for air are now, instead of 9 slats, you've now got 5, just to improve air intake. And you'll also notice that the lights strip around the back is all integrated into the Porsche logo. So
there's no way I could have remembered all of that. And what else do you have alongside on the stand today?
So we also have a fabulous Sport Classic, which I really would like everyone to go and have a look.
They're very rare, aren't they?
Yeah, it's got the Heritage Design Pack in cognac leather, so it's a beautiful car. We also have a Taycan 4S, and we also have a Cayenne GTS as well. So quite a different model range up there. But yeah, please come and have a look at the Sport Classic. It's a beautiful car, and it's in sport grey metallic. It's stunning. So I really would love everyone to come and have a look.
Sure they will. Thanks ever so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. From Sweden and Sunningdale. Stop. Tommy, Super Vittura. They are the official Koenigsegg partner in the UK. Tommy has sold more Koenigsegg's than any other dealer, would you believe, in the entire world. Literally. Tommy, you have how many of these have you currently got through coming on order? I mean,
we have about 45, 50 cars coming through.
Wow. You've been busy.
Very busy. It's been a long 20 years.
And this is the Agera M. So tell us a little bit about this one.
This one is...
oh, there you go.
There's only 7 Ageras in the world. This is the only one of its kind. It's got some upgraded parts from the 1-to-1, suspension from the Agera RS. It's been back to the factory over its life. This car's about 15 years old.
Is it really? And this is what Koenigsegg are now doing. I mean, slightly with Pagani as well, where you can send a car back and it can be re-engineered and almost renewed, can't it?
It's getting the later technology to bring them all up, and just It's like having a new car all the time.
He is a complete genius. He's a genius, Christian, isn't he?
Christian is incredible, absolutely incredible, man. His engineering skill is wild, and the things he comes up with are just completely out the box.
I mean, what are the other models at the moment that are in the range?
We're now delivering, we finished delivering the Gira, which was the hybrid car, the GT car. Now we're delivering the Yescos, which just set the lap record at Laguna Seca.
Yes, I saw that.
The fastest accelerating, decelerating car in the world. It's just, they're all incredible. And then Jumeirah next year.
And the last thing then, the wrap. This is official paintwork, is it?
So this is wallpaper that we put into our rental homes, which are wild. And the guys, the Divine Savages is the wallpaper. And we just thought it'd be a really fun thing to do for Salon Prive. It's National History Museum commissioned the print, and it's just cool.
It is fantastic. It is brilliant.
Not for everybody, definitely not for my business partner, he hates it.
Well, he's the financial side of the business, isn't he? So,
sensible one.
Exactly, we all have a sensible one. He's my brother, he's the sensible one. Tommy, thanks ever so much. Cheers. Super Futura with Koenigsegg. Vehicle, the first hybrid to come from Lamborghini, retaining its customary, its 6.5 litre V12, 3 electric engines. It gives it hypercar figures, over 1,000 brake horsepower, 0 to 60, just over 2 seconds. How you doing? Let me give you a mic. You can tell us a little bit about the rest of it. This is basically, we'll all remember the original, the Countach, the Diablo, the Aventador. This is the latest in that series of V12s with the scissor doors. They come up, guys?
Of course, yeah, scissor doors. It's the flagship car, so it's a V12, so it comes with the scissor doors. Just when you think they can't do a better looking car than the SVJ or an Aventador, they're going to design something like this.
It is incredible, isn't it?
Absolutely took everyone by surprise, and it's done very well for us.
Yeah, no, I bet it has. It's an incredible performance as well, isn't it?
Oh, unbelievable. I mean, we've driven the car in Italy when we went for training on the track in Modena. Absolute neck breaker. It's electrifying. It honestly is so quick. One of the fastest performance cars I've driven. Comfortable at the same time. Double clutch gearbox, so it's not got the old Aventador single clutch. So smooth and exciting at the same time.
Chris was telling me yesterday you can drive it in electric for a while, can't you? If you want to, you can choose the electric option.
Absolutely. You can start off in electric, in quiet mode in the morning, and just cruise along the electric. And after you want a bit of fun, a bit of drama, into sport or coursing, and off you go.
My brother and I were in Monterey week before last at Car Week, and one of these drove past me in silent mode. It was just starting, and it literally, the point the engine kicked in was just behind me. And it nearly.
As you jump.
Yeah, it's a slightly, yeah. So it really, you kick boots in, doesn't it?
It does. Honestly, it's there's just nothing I can say about the car that I don't absolutely love. It is an incredible machine.
And also, what else have you got on there? You've got the Urus as well?
We've got Urus Performante, we have the Technica, we have the Strato. All the new cars are there. The new Urus Hybrid is there, which was the latest release in the 4x4. That's taken off really well. Come take a look, everybody. Come have a look. I'll give you my business card. Order cars from me. No problem at all. Yeah, come across.
Thanks ever so much.
Okay, cool.
Cheers, guys. Thank you. Oh, what can I say? Sublime, the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. This is the Cullinan 2, the latest model to come from Rolls-Royce. And here, product specialist Matt, here we go again. Tell us all about this one, please.
Good morning, how you doing? Yes, as you say, this is the Cullinan Series 2. The Cullinan's been on sale now since 2018. It's been our most requested model for the entire time. And so it's time for some very carefully curated changes and updates. Starting at the front, we've redesigned the Pantheon grille. It's now illuminated, and it works with these very distinct new daytime running lights to create a very special nighttime signature for the car. Also very much gives additional breadth to it visually. It's very bold sheer surfacing, and that then works with these very big 7-spoke forged wheels we've got now, so 23-inch part polished wheels on this car. We've redesigned the rear as well, so new exhaust intakes, very much broader, kind of more stable look to the car. And the inside, very elegant side-to-side glass upper fascia we've got, so a completely new digital architecture, digital bespoke dials, and then a clock cabinet here which contains for the first time a three-dimensional Spirit of Ecstasy within the car, which is really nice, so kind of fully kind of cast like the one on the front, polished and set behind the glass there as a kind of reminder of, you know, the car that we're in. We also offer for the first time a textile interior, so this is going to it's called Duality Twill, so we've got a kind of 2.2 million stitches per car on this embroidered pattern, not fitted here, but you know, in the car that we've got. Yeah, it takes a full day basically to make one car set of seats, so a real kind of new exploration of craftsmanship for us, and been very popular so far.
Last year was your best year with it.
It was absolutely, so 6th year in production, and kind of contrary to what you might expect, it's best year for sales and orders. You know, our customers really enjoy this car. They appreciate the ability to have that Rolls-Royce experience on more of their journeys.
It's incredible, isn't it, that, you know, you've managed to sort of continue that customary sort of magic carpet ride from the saloons, from the road over into the sort of 4x4.
Absolutely, I think that's a big part of its appeal, and obviously it remains a great canvas for bespoke, which is another big part of it. I think people can really go to town with the car and, you know, have it something that really fits them personally.
And it's a real performer, isn't it? I mean, it's 6.75 litres.
It is 6.75 litre, twin turbo, V12, naturally aspirated twin turbo. So it's 563 horsepower and it's 850 newton meters, and with the black badge we're at almost 600 horsepower and then 900 newton meters. So yeah, it's a real.
And also on the display is a beautiful Spectre, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. So Spectre, another really new product, beautiful looking car and peony pearl that we've got there. So yeah, we'd love for people to come by and have a look, have a sit inside and experience that as well.
Perfect. It is just that, I think, sitting in that, it is a true experience, isn't it?
It is, absolutely, especially when it's in motion, and that powertrain suits the car so well. It's almost eerily so. It's literally that magic as it moves along, so it's fantastic to experience.
Listen, thanks ever so much. Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now from Theon Design. From Botswana, David, he grew up with these cars. Drivable, sorry? You're there. Wait for Gina to wave and say stop. There you go. These are beautifully handcrafted cars. They take thousands of hours to make. As far as David is concerned, this is drivable art, and I wouldn't disagree with that. 3.5 litre V8 up the front there gives more than enough performance for one of these. David, welcome again.
Thank you. Lovely to be here.
You get your own mic today.
Yeah, I see that. It works better.
So tell us about this.
Well, this is just our little one. It's a bit of fun. Obviously a 90, predating the Defender, but it looks like a Defender 90. This we kept the engine in the family, so it's a Rover 3.5 litre V8, but it's on Holley Sniper EFI. It's not over-engined. We didn't particularly want to do that. We have in the bigger one, the other car that we have on the stand is a 6.2 litre V8 with the LT1 direct injection. This one, similar sort of design language to the other, but just a bit smaller in what I term Safari spec. Still has the tractive suspension, so fully adjustable suspension, meaning the ride is all pretty good and handles nicely and loses some of the characteristically bad handling from a Land Rover. AP racing brakes and just a lot of fun. And of course, because they're modular, we have various roof options on this, but sun's shining, so we gone topless.
Exactly. You're an enthusiast, aren't you? You grew up with these cars, didn't you?
Yeah, I was 7 years old learning to drive our Series 2A on the farm in Botswana. We still have the Landy. I've now taught my little boy to drive it, so that's it's bad for the neck with the whiplash when a 7-year-old's driving the car, but a lot of fun. And yeah, so I absolutely love these. You know, they're iconic shape. They're iconically British as well, which is good. But we try and bring out a little bit of, I suppose, African flair to it. Osher, an African god of thunder. So you know, the V8 and yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because there are different versions, different companies and brands doing their own take on things. But what I love is that they're all very, very individual, very different.
Yes, and we've tried to be, I suppose, distinctive in our styling to a degree. You know, as distinctive as you can be. We've tried to sort of pare it back a little and try and bring in some of that series sort of look and feel to the car. You know, we've de-seamed it and various things. A lot of work, a lot of design has gone into it, but we tried to make it look like there wasn't that much design. But yeah, so bespoke, we have customers that are ordering some and choosing their interiors and choosing the exteriors and almost sort of the functionality of it and what they want to use it for. and we enjoy that experience. We enjoy having them along, and we enjoy being able to build them a car that they love.
I think that's the key thing, isn't it? You said before, you're an enthusiast and you build for enthusiasts. So, you sit and talk to people about what they want to do with the car.
Yes.
And you set it up accordingly.
Yes, exactly that. Yeah. And we have a couple on spec that we've done to our own spec. These are all based on African rivers. So this one happens to be Okavango, from the Okavango River, and we got Zambezi on the stand, Limpopo and Sabi back in the workshops. They can be, so you can take them today if you wanted. There are various ones available, but some people enjoy the whole bespoke nature and the journey. So we build them with them.
Perfect. Thanks ever so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Cheers. Pleasure. Sorry, not the Osh. This is the Theon. You're not having the mic, are you? This is the Theon Design 964. 4 litre, over 400 brake horsepower. The Targa. This is the Targa version. Carbon everything to make it obviously to make it lighter, but to make it more solid as well. It's a beautiful car, isn't it, Adam?
Thank you very much, David.
Tell us about the build time on this and how you approach build with your customers as well.
So these cars are completely tailored to the customer's specification, not just colour and trim, the whole way the car is engineered. I mean, like this car, for instance, the client wanted to be able to drive his car properly, so we actually developed carbon tubs to go in the interior, so the chassis is as stiff as the coupe, which the Targa in the 964 days definitely wasn't. To the extent that Evo magazine reviewed this actual car and gave it 5 out of 5 stars because it drives so well, and which is so unexpected for a Targa of this generation.
And these take thousands of man hours, don't they?
Yeah, it's about 6,000 hours, about 18 months to build each car, depending on specification and what bespoke touches people want to do.
I love the approach to this. Basically, you can come to Adam and say, look, this is how I want to drive a car, this is how I want it set up. You build cars according to how people want to enjoy them, don't you?
Most definitely, yes. Everything, that's how it all starts. What are you going to use this car? Where do you want to drive it? We've built weekend beasts, we've built Autobahn Stormers. Every client is different, so we build the cars differently.
It's the weekend beast version, I think.
That was a lot of fun.
I bet it was. It's beautiful with the top off as well. We didn't have the top off yesterday, but it's a beautiful, and the beautiful Fuchs wheels as well.
Yeah, it's so all the interior is all carbon fibre as well as the exterior. So it's it just makes a huge difference. We've gone for the Sport Classic, or the client went for the Sport Classic material inside to keep it that the classic look throughout.
Well, he succeeded, as did you.
Thank you.
Thanks ever so much.
Thanks, David.
Cheers, Adam. Thank you. Yes, it is a Lamborghini. Matt, tell us why it's on stage.
Morning. You've got a microphone today.
You've got your own mics there.
A result.
There you go.
So we are Furlong, we're over that side of the lawn, and basically we're a service, restoration and sales company. And I thought it would be interesting to bring a car, firstly it's close to our heart. Simon's owned multiple Diablos over the years, and we're enthusiasts for Diablos. And also secondly, in the restoration business, I think most people see cars as they are now, restored, whereas this is how it starts. This car has had no restoration work at all. It actually was MOT'd up until last year, and if you come and look at it, I mean, any MOT inspectors here will agree it definitely shouldn't have been. And this particular car is stripped, ready for restoration, and we'll bring it back, ideally restored next year. But it's also to launch our new Diablo S package, which is an upgrade on the Diablo, because they're actually 40 years old now, which I can tell you about. I can tell you the different things we're going to do.
The Lamborghini didn't make a Diablo S, did they? So this is something completely unique.
Correct, yeah. So this is the original incarnation, which is the two-wheel drive, which is actually my favourite. It's kind of the most aggressive to drive, but it's the hardest work to drive. And I recently did about 500 kilometres in one. And when I got out the other end, I thought, I love this car, but why wouldn't I use it regularly? And I think these cars are, they're 1990, so we're going to do some updates to them, which include lighting, so you can see at night, lift suspension, so you can get over speed bumps, bigger brakes and wheels, but keeping the same design because
stopping helps, doesn't it?
Sorry.
Stopping helps.
Yeah, stopping. Definitely big brakes because I mean, if anyone's driven an early Diablo, they don't stop. So mechanically, we're going to make those changes. We're going to change the exhaust slightly for something that sounds unique because I think you need a telltale to know it's an S, which is to do with the manifolds. No one's done manifolds on a Diablo before because of the room. And then inside, everything will remain the same, it will look the same, maybe a couple of subtle badging, but everything will be soundproofed, Apple CarPlay, better audio, connect your phone for phone calls. So just really make a car that you can jump in it now, drive to Italy, get out the other end, comfortable, probably meet a few people.
Needs a body on it though, doesn't it?
Meet some people,
Brilliant, thanks a lot, Matt.
Cool.
Thanks ever so much. Thank you, mate. So you're bringing it back finished next year? Or you're driving it back like this again? So that is the last car we have on the parade. Thank you all for joining me on.